Yeah. We get lit, we get fly, we get drunk, we get high. But to the masses, we a podcast called Verified. I am your host. I am JopauL. Make sure you check out the Verified podcast. We are brought to you by Radio Pushers and Results in No Hype. And we got the God right here. I guess the only way that I could bring him in as being such a staple in the hip hop community as well as the DJ world, I wrote a little something like this. It's the El Jefe, the El Presidente, El Español Grande Ane Caliente Nan Siete. We got the one and only heavy hitter, DJ Enuff. By the way, you could use that drop if you like. I just need 10%.
Oh, I like that, bro. I like that. Thank you.
DJ Enuff, thank you so much for taking your time. I know that you are probably one of the most sought after individuals, not only by, like artists, and DJs and stuff like that, but also in the corporate world as well, because to have an endorsement from DJ Enuff is basically putting the stamp of hip hop on their product, their brand, or whatever it is. So,
that's awesome. Thank you for saying, appreciate that.
So I just want to salute you, give you your flowers, and welcome you to the Verified podcast. Thank you for taking your time.
Not a problem, bro.
So DJ Enuff, let's get into it. So basically, I'm not sure if you've seen, any of my previous podcasts. I've had some esteemed, come to think about it, I've had majority of the DJs that I've had on here have all been Spanish or Latino. I mean, I guess that's the politically correct way of saying.
Is that what you like? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I guess so. It just so happens that I've just been connected to a lot of people in the culture, and they just so happen to be of Latin descent. Like I had Latin Prince on here, I had DJ Dramos, I had DJ Epps, I had DJ EFN, like all like kings, and representatives of the Latin community. So now I got the God on here. So it's like, boom, checklist complete. So, but yeah, what we like to do here is we like to get into, your story, what shaped you, as an individual, your trials, tribulations, accolades, struggles, success. We like to take like almost like a psychiatrist point of view. Like, I'm not going to ask if you.
Let's go through it, man. Come on, I'm ready.
All right. So I know that you were born in LES, Lower East Side of Manhattan, but you
I was born in Harlem.
Okay, born in Harlem. Okay, my correction. Hold on.
I was raised in Lower East Side, so you're right.
Okay, so raised in Lower East Side, but you rep Brooklyn because you were raised out in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn too. Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about young DJ Enuff before he was DJ Enuff. Like, paint the picture as like the school kid going to like elementary school. What kind of kid were you? And we'll build from there.
I mean, I was an overall good kid. First, second grade, I went to Catholic school on 14th Street and First Avenue. It was called Emmanuel Conception or something like that. From the projects in the Lower East Side, lived in 60th Avenue D in Lillian Wall projects with my grandmother for a couple of years. Lived on Alphabet City with my parents on 4th Street, Avenue B, Avenue C. Kind of like that's where I grew up. Both my parents are from Puerto Rico and from the Lower East Side.
Puerto Rico. Oh!
Yeah, so the Lower East Side on both of them is why I rep LES so much, because both my parents were from the Lower East Side, met in Lower East Side, probably had me in the Lower East Side, and then I was born in Harlem.
Hey, listen, whatever works. What'd your parents do?
My dad was a firefighter.
Okay, God bless.
And my mother at the time worked for Con Edison, and then she worked for a nickel diamond company called Inco that was based out of Canada.
Okay.
She worked downtown, and then she worked in the stock exchange for many years too.
Okay. Did you feel like anything that your parents did, like, basically pushed you to follow in their footsteps, or was it like, all right, I want to do the exact opposite?
No, I think I was actually in training. I was supposed to go take the fireman's test and do all the things like what my dad did, but I think it was the music that I was raised with in my house, whether it was Fania records or Motown records, because my parents, that's what they listened to, Motown and Fania. So it was a collaboration of like soul and salsa in the house. And that's kind of my upbringing, and that's kind of like my history of like music in the background, in the family, family functions, barbecues, you name it, hangouts on the street. That was the soundtrack of my life.
Okay. Any songs stick out to you that like still like ring bells when you close your eyes? You're like, oh shit, I'm 13 years old at a barbecue right now eating a fat burger.
Anything Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and then anything Hector Lavoe, Willie Colon. That was kind of like the people who were always heard in my household. And I
Okay.
thought that was wonderful because to me it was like the best of both worlds, you know?
Yeah, when I grew up, I had a nice blend because it's like my parents were hippies, but they also my mother, loved to dance, so she had an appreciation for Motown. So it's like
Yeah.
I remember playing, old records, and it was later in life that I discovered my love for like soul and funk. So it's like Bootsy Collins, I absolutely love, and anything, Marvin Gaye, Al Green,
Yep.
Stevie
Absolutely.
Wonder. So
Same here,
it's
Joe.
like so I became an eclectic over the years, and I think that's what led me into music anyway. So, okay. So what was here's a good question. When did you first fall in love with hip hop?
I mean, one of the first times was probably when I saw the movie Wild Style.
Okay.
When I saw the movie Wild Style and I got to see Grandmaster Flash DJing in the kitchen, doing his routine and like, this everything based around graffiti and the shot in the Lower East Side by the amphitheater, like all this stuff was just like mind blowing to me. Being a kid of the Lower East Side from the projects, you would walk on a Saturday afternoon and you go to like a park or something and there'd be like a jam session happening where there'd be two DJ sets, with speakers way taller than me, and they would be battling each other, going record for record or whatever it was. That was always sought at and seen. I was not old enough to be a part of it, but I would see it from afar, holding my grandmother's hand, like always interested in like, what the hell is that? What are they doing over there?
That was like that contact high. It's like you couldn't inhale fully, but the exhale hit you smack in the face and you were hooked.
So growing up in the Lower East Side, and it was, considered Lower East Side, Alphabet City, the Village, kind of like that was my extension of like growing up in the Lower East Side. You got a certain amount of culture, a lot of it was out of town because of drugs and just being in the city. A lot of it was Alphabet City, it was Latinos, Black people, just in the hood, just, going through hard times, trying to make it because we in the hood. So that kind of gave me some flavor. But then when I moved from there to Brooklyn to Flatbush, it became a whole different kind of flavor. So now I'm introduced to West Indian vibes, Caribbean vibes. I got Jamaicans and Haitians around me now that I didn't have around me when I was in the Lower East Side. And the Lower East Side was more like Italians, Irish, Puerto Rican, and then straight American Black. So then when I go to Brooklyn, it's like I said, Jamaicans, Haitians, Guyanese, so everything just changed again. It was like a culture shock. But I went to school with all these kids, and so I learned some of their culture through music and food and family and friends and just being, amongst my peers at school.
What was what was like the biggest culture shock to you back then? And now give me context, like what age and what time frame is it around? So this way my viewers can be like, oh, okay.
I'm literally sixth grade going into seventh grade.
Okay.
This is my junior high school years. And it's like I said, I was so used to being around nothing but Puerto Ricans and maybe American Blacks growing up when I was younger. But then when I got to Brooklyn, it was a whole different change. So all my friends were Haitian now, or Jamaican, or Guyanese. It just changed. It was just like a whole different thing. So that was my culture shock. I went from eating rice and beans to peas and rice.
Okay.
All right.
I gotcha. Yeah, I had one of those. I had one of those going from junior high to high school.
Chicken and rice to like oxtails, curry goat. It just, the whole world just changed for me. And that, in that respect, you know what I'm saying? So shout to
okay. So it was a culture shock in terms of the food. So you were like, oh shit, there's other types of food out there. There's oxtail. What is this?
Like, yeah, it was crazy, but it was amazing though. It was a great treat.
Yeah, I had a massive culture shock from junior high school to high school because like 96% of my high school was white Italian. And I'm Jewish, so it's like I was like the minority, and I just so happened to be friends with like the 5 like either Puerto Rican or Black people that we that was in the school. But then when I went to high school, it was like a whole different world because we had Stapleton, we had Park Hill. I'm from Staten Island, so it was like as culturally it was like prison, as culturally diverse as you could possibly imagine. Right.
So I understand that.
So it was a culture shock, but I
lived right outside of Midwood. Midwood was a part of Flatbush, but when you go to Midwood, it's nothing but Jews. Big homes, incredible estates, mansions. Like back in the days, governors and probably city officials lived in these homes. You know what I'm saying? The Ocean Parkway.
The funniest thing is when I worked at the bank, they were trying. I used to run the business division for JP Morgan. When I wasn't hustling and rapping and stuff. They told me I wasn't Jewish enough to work in Midwood or Borough Park. I was like,
God.
I was like, that's probably a violation of HR in some way, shape, or form. But I needed the job, so I was like, fuck it. I was like, yeah, no, maybe I'm not. Yeah, put me someplace. But anyway, so what was the first song that you fell in love with when it comes to hip hop?
Planet Rock.
Planet Rock.
Planet Rock was the song I fell in love with. It was a song that my dad owned it, and I would literally take his record and his turntable, and I would play it whenever he left the apartment, and I would play it over and over and over again. And that was the song that made me fall in love with hip hop. Planet Rock by Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force.
Was your father's needle the first needle you ever fucked up on his record player?
Probably, of course.
Oh man.
We know what we were doing back then. We were just like,
Now, did you ever have the Fisher-Price record player that they had, or did you go right to like Techniques?
No, I went right to Techniques, Bob. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of realized that. I had the Fisher-Price because
it took me forever to get a pair of turntables. I mean, I bought one turntable, I think in 1983, didn't get the second one to 1985. Like that's
those shits were expensive back then. That was almost like buying like an SL board. Like it was like, oh yeah, like who the hell got $500 to spend $500 could have bought like a car back then?
Yeah, no way. Yeah, you're right.
Damn. So, when you were in school, were you like the class clown? Were you the outspoken person?
A little outspoken, not the class clown, but just enough to maybe get a couple of chuckles from some people, that kind of stuff. Very witty, but very always smart and very attentive to schoolwork. So, never a tough guy, never one of them, fronting like I'm the guy, I'm the man. No, I was always fun and just cool guy, very laid back and chill. You know what I mean?
Now, before we get into like the whole evolution of you DJing, did you ever embrace any other levels of hip hop? Did you ever do graffiti, break dancing? Did you ever spit rhymes?
I tried break dancing and I was okay with it for a while. I was in a crew called Boys in Motion, and then another group called Together We Break. And then I used to carry the radio for these guys called Nasty with Rock from Brooklyn, and they were dope. They were dope breakers.
Okay. I started breakdancing at a very, very early age.
Yeah, I did too. But then when people started going to the air with windmills in 1990s and all that, I said, I'm done.
Have you seen the kids today?
Yeah, they're
like
crazy.
It is like some fucking like
how about
shit.
You can't believe that this is going to be in the
Olympics.
That's the crazy. That's what I can't wait to see.
Absolutely. It's about time. It's about fucking time.
It is,
because the skill that it takes to really do that type of stuff, and you have a limited time span doing that because that'll fuck your body up in a major way. So like I couldn't do half the shit that I used to do back in the day, and nor would I even want to at my age. It's like if I have to attract girls by doing a fucking backspin, nah, I'll go off to the next one. That's it. Fuck that. So so what made you want to start DJing?
I fell in love with, like I said, Grandmaster Flash and Jam Master Jay, another one. Jam Master Jay was the most personable person. When I looked at him, I said, I could do that. I looked at him and I was like, I saw the gold rope chain. I saw the leather outfits and the jackets and then the Adidas suits and the sneakers. And I said, yo, these guys look cool as hell. And then I saw them at the Fresh Fest live.
So what inspired you to actually take that first foot forward to be like, okay, you know what? Like I can, and I know, and I've seen this.
I was at a hooky party in Brooklyn.
Okay, now tell people what a hooky party is, because the kids today have no idea what hooky means.
A hooky party was.
But we used to play hooky back in the day.
A hooky
we wanted to get some nookie. We had to play some hooky.
We used to cut school and probably go to somebody's house to have a few drinks, maybe smoke a little bit of weed, and just dance and have a little party. So that was our definition of a hooky party. And in the hooky parties, you would have the black light or the purple light, so that way You know, you get
A
your
lava lamp, maybe a strobe light.
Yeah, exactly. That was the vibe. So one of my good friends at school, his name was Saina Larry Love. He was the DJ, and the hooky party was at his place. So he said, "Yo, you want to try DJing? All you gotta do is just, you know, bring this record back to here, and then bring this record back to here, and throw it in there." So he kind of showed me once, and then I did it twice. Like, you know, I did like the record "Good Times," "Good Times," "Good Times."
These are the
Yeah.
good times.
So
Okay.
I kind of caught it a couple of times without even knowing how to DJ. So he was just like, "Yo, you a natural, man. You dope." So he kind of gassed me into like,
Gassed you.
possibly DJing. So then ever since then, I was always at his house. Me and
Thank
him.
you, Larry. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of like, that's what jumped me into it. And then my aunt was having a divorce from her husband, who was a disco DJ.
Okay.
He had turntables, equipment, and records. So
Boom.
for a small tiny fee, I gave her a little bit of bread. She gave me everything.
Beautiful.
And then I was born. DJ Enuff was born. That's it. That's how it happened.
Okay. All right. Now, what was the first time that you actually got a chance to DJ a party? Now, it doesn't have to be a paid gig.
Nah,
But
it was really a paid gig. It was my paid gig. I was doing a spot called Club the Grill in Times Square on 46th Street. It used to be across the street from the California Club.
mm-hmm.
And back in those days, there was an African restaurant during the day, but at night we do like some clubs. And for the first 2 or 3 weeks when they hired me to DJ this club, nobody showed up. It was empty. It was like, they owed me a bunch of money. And I was doing the party with this kid named Tuffy. Tuffy used to be the host of Video Music Box.
Okay. Shout out Ralph McDaniels.
Okay, shout out Ralph McDaniels, yes. So the name of the party was Tuffy's Candy Store. And Tuffy's thing was Tuffy used to always have candies in his hand and pass them out to girls and people and lollipops and little.
Sounds like a predator.
Well, whatever. Yeah, that kind of shit. Well, it was called Tuffy's Candy Store. And the Love Brothers were the promoters at the time.
Okay.
They were the first ones to give me my shot. And, ever since then, it was history. Because, like, literally with that party, I got to meet, like, Dougie Fresh, Nice and Smooth, Kid Capri, Red Alert, Funk Master Flex. You name it, all the ins and outs, the De La Souls, the Black Sheeps.
Shout out to Maceo.
I got to meet all those people.
That's what's up.
At an early age, you know what I'm saying? And Dougie Fresh was even dissing me how I was DJing and was telling me, yo, why you DJing like that? You got to DJ like this. You got to keep the people up and you got to do this and you got to do that. So I was like, oh, shit. I mean, it hurt in the beginning because he was my idol, like Dougie Fresh, right? But what he was telling me was right. And I took his advice. And then, I use it to this day.
Now, here's my question. Now, so I know the story about how you guys actually made that fourth week at Club the Grill blow the fuck up. So my question, so it's basically like, well, here's my question you're going to realize. So who invented the street team? Was it, because really it was like you and a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, going to this place, where it's packed and handing out 500 free tickets because you realize that
we went. It was the red zone.
Yeah. So my question is, so that was really the first sign of street team promotion. So who invented it? You, Rob Love, or Shawn Prez?
Oh shit.
So who invented the street team?
Rob Love was good at it from a record standpoint. Shawn Prez was good at it from a DJ standpoint. I was good at it from an individual disc jockey who just did it well for myself. Because I was the one that came up with the concept. I said, look, I figured this, no matter what deal you make with a owner, right? If the place is empty, they want money. If the place is packed, people are going to buy drinks at the bar no matter what. So whether they paid you to go in the club or not, we just had to make sure the venue was full. And if the venue's full, people will buy drinks. And then if people buy drinks, then we straight. So that was my gimmick. Just basically give them free tickets, get them into the damn party, and the line was around the corner. It was a movie.
That was like the first chance that the world got to see DJ street team promotion for the club.
It was like in today.
Epic.
If you're on Twitch and you're DJing, and then DJs crowds raid other crowds so they could go from one account to another. It's kind of the same thing. We went to another account that was already popping on a night that was already popping, and we just gave out passes.
Yeah,
That's it.
speaking about Twitch, like shout out to my boy and fellow heavy hitter DJ Chubby Chub, killing it on Twitch.
Always killing it. Chubby Chub's on fire. Shout out to him.
Shout out. He was gonna come on here, but he's DJing from like 4 to 6 today, and I was gonna have him pop in because I interviewed him previously. That's so shout out to my guy Chubby Chub. Love that motherfucker.
He's a great guy, man. I'm glad you got to interview him.
That's great dude. Oh my god! And the stories that he told, like he ever tell you the story about how he almost killed Dame Dash and Jay-Z?
No.
Oh my god! Well, watch my podcast.
Okay, I'll check it
out. I appreciate you. So jumping back, into your story. So now you're kind of popping. When did your idols finally accept you as kind of like, all right, this kid's nice. We need to start giving him a shot?
I think it's when I was doing a couple of gigs, and I think I was probably on my own run for about a good 6 months. My name was buzzing. I was on a bunch of flyers everywhere. I was like the new kid in town. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then I get a phone call from DJ Red Alert, which is going to change my life at this point. All right? The prop master, DJ Red Alert, asked me if I could come in and to be his protege. Because Funk Master Flex, who was his prior protege, was leaving to go start Hot 97.
Hot 97.
And at the time, everybody thought he was nuts. This guy's going to a dance station to play hip-hop music, which in the streets was like, that makes no sense. But what he was doing, he was just changing the format and changing everybody in hip-hop's life. And we didn't even know.
Changed the fucking game.
He changed the world, changed the game by doing that. So shout to him, shout to Red Alert. Like these guys, I owe them everything. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we at right now.
So what did you feel like as soon as like this is now? I mean, to put it into context, like Cool DJ Red Alert is like probably the equivalent of, I guess, who could we say he's the equivalent of in modern day, DJ society? Because he's like a god. So it's like basically the question I have is
it's almost even unfair to even answer that.
You really can't. It's an unanswerable question.
Right.
But my question is, how did you feel as soon as somebody of that stature at that time?
I thought he was drunk. When he asked me, I was like, "This guy's crazy."
That broke your heart, probably.
Yeah, I was like, "Get out of here, bro! Stop playing with me." And then he was like, "No, I'm serious." And I was like, "Oh no, this guy's serious." So he's like, "Meet me at 1440 Broadway," and I was like, "What's 1440 Broadway?" I googled it. Well, I not googled it. Go back.
Yeah, you didn't Google it. You map quested
it. Whatever. Then. Checked it out.
So, you probably pulled out a map and said, "How do I get here?"
It was 1440 Broadway, and it was Kiss FM, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And that's what changed my life, man. Like just him being able to say, "Yo, I'm gonna give you a shot. When I leave out of town these days, this is what you're gonna do. Hold me down." Like, and then when he would leave for like the weekend. So like Friday, Saturday were mine. That was amazing. You know what I mean?
So you got prime time. You kind of like stepped in shit and basically made that shit into fucking gold, like King Midas.
Exactly, 100%.
And you've worked like super, super hard. Like, I mean, I don't think you've grown up with the culture. You like started kind of like as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been in hip hop, my entire life, but like I really started in the game in like 1996, but I was already a fan of you even like back then. So it's like, to see your journey, it's quite remarkable, all you've accomplished. So,
yeah.
And so transitioning from a club DJ to like a radio DJ, how did that flow? Or did
I had to learn timing. I had to learn how to go in and out of, commercials properly. I had to learn how to, play instrumentals or beds, to talk on top of them, and then to get out of them. And the whole thing was to try to do it seamlessly. That was the hardest part for me. I always wanted to make sure I was clean. Always wanted to make sure I was smooth. And that was my biggest thing about being a DJ.
Now,
After
being a radio DJ back then, it's like you had so much power, especially because you weren't constricted by the PDs or the program directors.
right, and everybody was listening to us no matter where you were.
Yeah, you were the gods. Like you basically controlled what you deemed was hot. You fed to us.
That's it.
You know, and I was just me and Shampoo were just having this conversation. Shout out my boy Shampoo, YNVS.
Shampoo, YNVS.
And I love that you're playing Brooklyn's new record.
Me
So
too. I enjoy that. It's fire.
That shit is fucking fire. We did a Zoom call the other day, or he orchestrated it, and basically is starting his own little coalition of people. And I love this because I've been talking about this for a while, giving the power back to the DJs, to actually break a record rather than allowing the Spotify's and the iTunes and the Apple Musics to basically control what we listen to and deem what is hot. We actually want the DJs to have that power again, because that's the essence of hip hop, and I feel like the artist DJ label relationship, has really broken down. So it's like the method that we're using is, all right, before it gets released to the DSPs, we're going to do a digital listening party with, 50 or 100 DJs that, we can't all get into a room right now, or fly you in from around the country, but we could all listen on Zoom and we could all give our opinions and stuff like that. So shout out to Shampoo and Smoke Champs. Yep. He's a genius. So, when I was talking about, you guys having all the power, how often would artists come up to you and be like this, yo, play my record.
A gazillion times, bro.
Now,
club, wherever we were, where I was driving in the street, at a restaurant, I could be anywhere. If it was tough at one point.
Now, at what point did people actually say, all right, this payola shit is getting out of control, and like taking a stand on, listen, I'm a man of my integrity. You're not going to basically pay me to play your whack ass record, even if it's a hot record. It's still, you shouldn't have to pay for it.
Once you get caught in that circle, then what happens is it's a downward spiral from there. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, it's like you should, and this is from the heart, you should be playing what the people want to hear. And I know sometimes that could be difficult to navigate, engage. Everybody has their own gauging mechanisms, whether it's gut instinct or whether you're looking at a trending playlist or a Billboard chart of some sort. Somebody has some sort of navigating system so you can determine what you feel is right or wrong. Back in the days, we would play a record. As soon as the record played, 30 seconds later, the phone lines would start to light up. And we only have 10 lines, 12 with the hot and the fucking warm line, and people would call like, what's that? That's fire. Blah 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 blah. What's this? That's fire. Or this is trash. Take this off. Like, people were very opinionated back in the days.
This is the analog version of Shazam, people.
Exactly. So that's why that phone number was important. That 800-223-9797.
I don't know how many times I called that to try to get on the radio and spit
people call that all the time, bro, just to either speak to us or try to get a request in.
Man, I remember when the redial button on cordlesses were actually there. It was and I had the 18 megahertz, so I could walk across the street, so my parents didn't have to hear me all day long trying to get through to the radio station.
Absolutely,
oh man,
bro.
That's funny. So what was it like when you first met Big? Rest in peace.
Big, I met Big a few times, because Jessica Rosenblum was my manager at the time, and she was very tight with Puff Daddy.
Okay,
they would throw events together or always throw parties and that kind of stuff. To make a long story short, I was doing an event in Atlantic City for a Mary J. Blige album release party for My Life. And then during that party, Puff Daddy came to me and said, yo, I want to know if you want to, DJ for Big. Now look, at that time, to be 100% honest with you, B.I.G. just had Party and Bullshit out, maybe Just Juicy, and that's it. Maybe Unbelievable.
Did he have the record with Super Cat yet, or was?
Yeah, probably. But
Okay.
I'm just talking about off the albums and like the singles and what was popping.
So you're saying he wasn't popping,
He wasn't
but he
Biggie Smalls yet.
okay.
He was still B.I.G. He wasn't the Don Dada yet.
Okay.
He was just gaining into that space. So what I'm trying to say is that when you think back, you look at him, it's just, that's my boy from Brooklyn, regular cool cat from BK. But you had to see it, but only if the plan was shown to you. And I never saw that plan. I wasn't like around Mr. C or Puff Daddy back in those early days when they had plans of like signing him and putting out an album. I was just a regular dude from Brooklyn who loved rap, loved what he was about.
You were part of the plan, if you think about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it till afterwards, but just being able to meet him. I remember I got him into like a nightclub one time when he couldn't get in. It was like a Soul Kitchen night or something like that. And back in those Soul Kitchen nights, they would play like funk and all these like disco break beats that kind of like what made up hip hop in its original form, while people, being served fried chicken and 40 ounces of beer. That was the vibe. So anyway, he couldn't get in the party with some of his boys, but I would go to the owners or go to the promoters and say like, nah, this is the cool dude. This is Biggie Smalls. He's a future cat signed to Uptown, Uptown with Puff, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course they would get in and then they would get into fights and I'd probably get looked at like, these are your boys that you co-sign. But, pardon me. So that was kind of like the relationship I had with Big. Then when I was doing those fill-ins for Red Alert, I had the opportunity to play new music at the nighttime. So Biggie Smalls gives me an advanced copy of his album on cassette. Me and my team go ahead and start cleaning up all the dirty versions of the records.
Okay.
I start playing them on the radio. So Big's happy, his peoples are happy, but Puff Daddy is mad. He's calling the hotline like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Are you crazy? I didn't understand back then what
leaking a record is.
Yeah, what leaking a record was, or the releasing of dates, or targeting dates, or like a label having a
whole plan,
a rollout on, and I was ruining that. But to me, I'm thinking like, that's my boy Biggie. He gave me the album. I'm supposed to play it, right? So that's what I thought I was supposed to do. But I didn't understand. I didn't understand the politics behind it.
Okay.
And that's how me and Big got real tight. Because he knows that I fucking jumped out the window for him. And he was around to just help me, I guess, pick up my fucking face after I hit the floor a few times.
I mean, that's epic. I mean, to be able to share stories with, one of the most epic pioneers of hip hop, that was taken way before his time,
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Like I used to, I was in a rap group back in the day, and I used to bug my boy Smooth the Hustler to tell me stories about, him hanging out with Biggie all the time, So shout out to Biggie, shout out to Smooth the Hustler. Quick question. I want to know what you thought the first time you heard Broken Language.
Well, that was one of the craziest records in the world, man. Especially being from Brooklyn, it was the fire. Dun, 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 dun. The beat was just so crazy too.
DR period flipped the fuck out of that shit.
He killed that. And then just the way, his cadence on the record and the way he was flowing on it was fire. That was like real Brooklyn East Coast boom bap to its fullest, bro.
Yeah, that like when I first heard that shit, like I was scared to go to Brooklyn. And come years later, I'm in a rap group with him, Trigger, Ice, DV, and I'm the only white kid, over there.
DV, how's he doing?
DV is killing it right now. DV is one of the most consistent worksmen that I've ever seen. He's super polished, and he's ready for the big time. As me and him talk, we talk all the time. He's like my brother. If I was literally to get married, he'd be one of my best men.
That's awesome, man. Tell him I said hi.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. But so there's got to be, like a piece of your heart missing, like every time Biggie's born date or Biggie's death date comes. It's like where I don't really want to get into it too deeply because I don't want to bring up a sore subject with so many of our greats passing. But talk to me about the day that you found out that Biggie passed.
I was home. I heard it on the radio. I heard actually Mr. C and Angie Martinez on the radio talking about it. My brother-in-law, he knocked on my bedroom and woke me up, and then I went to go listen. And then like 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from Little Kim, D-Rock, and Little C's talking about Big is dead on the phone. And I'm crying, high and boo-hooing because in my heart, I knew it. I knew something was wrong. They have invited me to go to LA to celebrate and have a good time with them. And I was like, no. I said, it doesn't seem right. There's something wrong.
You had that feeling.
He was getting death threats way before that, just prior to other dates. So I told D-Rock, yo, just watch him, man. Be careful. And there was nothing nobody could do. If it was a planned hit, it was a planned hit. I don't know what's what, but that broke my heart, man. It really did. It broke my heart. When that happened, I felt like hip hop just killed something in me. And it was wrong because I was blaming hip hop, and it wasn't hip hop. It was just life. And I almost felt like I died. Like I didn't want to DJ no more. I didn't want to do anything anymore. But the thing that kept us alive was just, to keep his name alive, to keep his legacy going. And we kept going and we kept going. Every year when it's either his birthday or the anniversary of his passing, people look to me and Mr. C, maybe one or two others to kind of like do that hip hop tributes. And we do them every year. And because we love to represent for Big, but they become rough after a while.
I can only imagine.
Think of 15, 20 years you just continuously in mourning, and you're playing this guy's music and you're thinking of what could have been, what would have been, what should have been, what would have my life been like, what would have so many other people's lives been like. Like this one man fed the whole entire army of people. Just an incredible legacy, bro.
And still does. I mean, and God bless, and I hope I hope it gets easier, as time goes on, because that's a hard one, and I know that the new generation is definitely inspired by him. And speaking of the new generation, we had to have the queen of YNVS jump on to thank you personally.
Brooklynne, what's good?
What's up? What's up?
How you feeling? How you feeling, girl?
I'm feeling great. You got me fired up over here. For real, for real. Thank you so much. Thank you. For real, for real.
How's it feel to hear your record on the radio? Are you still excited about that?
Yeah, because this time it just feels different. I've had some spins in my time, but this time around it's just it's for real. I feel it this time.
The record feels real, and I know that because I've gotten a lot of people asking me who you are, or I've had a few DJs ask me to send me them your song.
That is amazing.
So I know it's real. So you're on your way.
Thank you, and I really appreciate your support and really helping break this one.
No problem. We gonna keep it going, Brooklynne. You heard?
Yes, come on. I got a lot more source where that came from.
We gonna keep the drip dripping, baby. I got you.
Appreciate you.
Brooklynne, I'm super proud of you. I mean, I've known you for a whole bunch of years, and I hope I'm not biased because of how close I am with Shampoo, but it's like almost everything that you do is fire, but this one right here, this one right here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yo, I honestly, come on.
That should be stuck in my fucking head. Like as soon as I wake up in the morning, when I go jump in the shower, I'm like, why is Brooklynne still in my head? but
I'm
it's
not
good
gonna
though.
lie to you. I don't even get enough of the record. I listen to the record all the time. I probably annoy everybody else around me. But I mean, I wanted that effect. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that I won't get tired of,
good job.
Come on.
Excellent. So I'm glad you were able to
really reach deep down inside. I've been trying to I've kind of been on this journey trying to find myself, not only as an artist, but as a woman, as a mother, you know, it's just life, period.
Right.
And I've been trying to like basically reconnect, you know, trying to get deep again, really understand where I come from and who I am, where I'm going. And this is honestly a real result of me just doing that, self-exploring, you know, and I'm grateful to God, and I'm just excited to see what else we come up with, you know.
Let's go, Brooklyn. Keep going, baby.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooklyn. I appreciate you. I'm glad you were able to jump on here. You know, so why don't you tell everyone what the record is called, how they can reach out to you if they want the record. Just understand that DJ Enuff was the one that played it first.
Yes, for real. The name of the record is Motion. You can follow me on all social media. My Instagram is YnvsBrooklynne. And you can follow me on Twitter and all other social media platforms at MissBrooke2U. That's MissBrooke, the number 2 letter U. You know, we still coming up with our whole marketing strategy right now for the record because, you know, we really got to come correct with this one. So we're still working on an actual, you know, exact release date, but it's coming soon. That's coming real soon. And of course, much love to you, DJ Enuff. I appreciate you.
Love
First time, new X2, what up?
Love sister, baby. We're gonna keep the vibes moving, I promise.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brooklyn. I appreciate you.
Thank you, JopauL. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. YNVS to the death. You know how we do.
Peace, y'all.
Yeah. Conan. I definitely heard him in the background. Yeah, I hope you didn't mind. You know, I was like,
that's fine. That's beautiful, man. I actually like that. That's the one thing. You know what's crazy? I was just telling my peoples this yesterday because I do a show called Outside the Box, and we recorded some shows yesterday. That's one of the things that still gets me high to this day. When new people tell me, "Oh, I just heard my song on the radio," or "I was in the gym working out, you played my song," or "I was in the basement, I heard this." Me and my mom were in the car, we were shopping, and the record came on. That to me is still exciting. That's why I do it, bro.
You know, we just have guests like jumping in left and right today, so it's just only right that we have the God himself jump in. Yes, sir. I'm trying to get my buddy on here also, but I just canceled him out, and I know if I cancel this and then come back in, I'm gonna mess up the order in which everyone is being seen. So, so hopefully he texts me again, because that's gonna be a bad boy reunion if I can get him on. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna edit this. Fuck it. I'm back. Champeasy, what are you doing? You staying muted?
Start your video, Champ.
Or maybe he was on just to see Brooklyn real fast, but he signed on a little bit afterwards.
Maybe.
It's all right. We could wait for Shampoo.
Yes, sir. I'm back, baby. What up, my guys?
Wow, it's a lot of records back there, Pop. That's how you doing it?
You know what I mean? I'm trying to be like you. I don't got as many as you, but I'm on my way. Probably though I'm working.
You got a few.
You know, you got the big boys. They give me the little ones. You know what I mean? They give you the big boy joints. You know what I'm saying? I get the single joints. You get the multiples.
I got singles too.
That's in the other room. What's up, E? How you feeling?
Good, you good? Feeling, man? I got to say hi to Brooklyn real quick.
Oh, words? Okay. Oh, so she jumped on earlier?
Bro. You missed it, bro. You missed it. We have Brooklyn on here representing YNVS to the fullest.
Yes. Nah, come on, man. You know I had to jump on. JopauL told me he had the big Jefe on. I said, hell yeah, I'm jumping on. I gotta say hello, brother.
How you
I ain't seen him since pandemic. I ain't seen him.
I know, man. It's been a mess, man. I've been, you know, real talk. I've been sick throughout this whole thing, man. It's horrible. Man.
I know. I've been seeing this shit been up and down, up and down.
Last year, Joe, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't tell everybody this, but I caught a stroke last year in January.
Oh shit!
So I was man down. I was like 15 days in the ICU, and almost damn near lost my life. And then I had to literally get back. You know, I had to train my brain to remember things, and you know, DJ again. And physically, I was fine. I had no physical problems with me, thank God. So imagine, I was already in the house before everybody was told to stay in the house. So when you were in the house for a year and a half, I was in the house for 2 years already. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh shit.
So it was horrible for me, man. The only good thing about it, though, I did stop smoking cigarettes. I lost 48 pounds. I'm much more healthier.
Nice.
And I'm feeling good about that. So that's where we at right now.
That's good. That's good. Blessing, brother. I mean,
God bless.
So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Real talk.
Went up and
And
down.
yeah, we were talking about you before, Shampoo, on the idea and the principle behind, you know, your basically your DJ coalition, you know, digital street team, you know, of the people that, you know, put in their hands back in the power back in the DJ's hands instead of the DSPs always basically determining what's heat out there. So because DJs should have a name. So I just want to commend you on that. It's a great concept, and I know it's going to take, you know, effect, because everything you do is fire. And shout out to Smoke Champs. I better be getting my invite, because you know I like to smoke.
Nah, you know, you first of all, you haven't been going outside either. Don't act like you ain't been getting no invites. You've been the one saying you've been protesting why everybody's still outside. No one's watching the news.
I know, because I just want us to get back to normal in the right way. And it's like, as long as I keep getting these like secret DM.
Yo, Paul, I'm with you, bro. I don't go outside for nothing.
JopauL, I've been inviting JopauL even to my house. He was like, Shampoo, I love you, but I don't know who you're inviting. I'm not coming. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. So
that's how you be safe, Joe. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was taking care of my father, who just had an open heart triple bypass surgery. So it's like, you know, at the height of the pandemic, it's like, if he would have caught a common cold, it's like, you know, he could have died. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with his compromised immune system, I couldn't risk it. So it's like, you know what? I don't feel like doing music. I was like, this podcast seems like a great idea, where I only interview verified artists, and I have, you know, awesome people like I mean, I've been wanting to talk to you and like kick it with you since, you know, I first heard you on the radio, like, you know, God knows how many fucking years ago. So it's like, this has opened up a platform in so many ways.
Man, I would have called you back. Not a problem.
Now you tell me.
See, back then he was calling you as a rapper. It's a different conversation.
Right, exactly. You know, I was lyric.
It's different now. He's talking to you as a podcaster. It's now, you know, you be like, I'll come talk to you. But the artist, you be like, look, Mabito, not right now. You gotta keep going. Go hire Shampoo.
Exactly. But it's just the right thing to, like, I am gonna come out. I promise. But I am gonna be masked up. You know, I do want to be out, you know, and about. We're almost there. It's like, I wish people would Shampoo. Do you? I mean, I don't want to like put you on the spot, but where are you on the vaccine?
Nah, I'm gonna wait for like 1 more million people to die, and then I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, that die of COVID or die of the vaccine?
Nah, die of the vaccine, because a lot of people still dying from that vaccine. Not everybody's is saying, all the reportings are being reported. So there's a lot of people that's having a lot of bad what's that shit fucking reactions from it. Yeah.
Okay,
you know
so
I'm waiting.
Okay, now
and then with the Johnson & Johnson,
they stopped
out the bad dosage. I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting for like
J&J has been stopped. So you know, all I preach for you to do is to do a tiny bit of, I mean, I know you're a very smart guy. So just do a tiny bit of research. You'll see that Moderna and Pfizer efficacy and efficiency have like 95, 96%. The chances of you getting serious disease or dying from coronavirus or the vaccine is extremely, extremely minuscule. So until we all get vaccinated, these variants have a chance to fuck shit up, because like they're more contagious, you know, and even if you had the original strain of COVID, you can still catch those variants as if you never had it. So I would take the vaccine if you could, my brother. I would take the needle.
Trust me, I am. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna wait a little longer. I ain't gonna be the first. I'm not doing the first round. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be the first round guinea pig. I'm gonna wait for the second round.
Well, the case study they did is with 60,000 people.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till they do the million. You know what I mean? When they hit the milli, I'll be like, I'm in. I'm out here. I'll be all right.
Listen, I still love you no matter what. Enough? What's your opinion on the vaccine?
I'm already fully done. I'm good.
Me too.
Which one you did? You did the two one or the one?
Doesn't make a difference. I just
it's all the same shit.
Yo, that's personal, man.
Vaccine is vaccine, and at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I got Pfizer.
You got to bet on vaccine, bro. We have to.
Hey, listen, Dr. Fauci is the motherfucking man. He told me to take it, and like he has no political, affiliation at all. He's been in the medical industry for over 50 years. He's a fucking genius, and he's the one with the most experience. There's a reason why, you are the biggest like street promoter in the world. There's a reason why you are the president of like one of the biggest heavy hitter DJ, cliques. And there's a reason why I'm a podcaster, because we're not scientists. Dr. Fauci is. He tells me vaccine's good. Taking it. I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Hey, I ain't mad. Hey, I just wanted to jump on and say hello and goodbye. Enough. I love you. Long time, my brother.
Thank you, man.
Stay strong. You know what it is. JopauL, keep working, baby.
Shampoo, we love
verified.
you, brother.
One day I'm gonna get verified. One day.
Yes.
One day.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Love you, brother.
I love fellas. Peace. Thank you.
All right, we have one more guest that's jumping in who you actually inspired an entire movement in the generation of DJing.
My brother Shawn Prez.
How moves Prez in the motherfucking building.
Shawn Prez.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. What's up, bro? I can hear you, but I don't see you.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. El Jefe, what up? Let me see.
How you doing, brother?
Yo, it's good to see
there
you.
We go.
Let me turn on my light.
There we goes, brother. How you doing?
This is a bad boy reunion up in here.
Absolutely.
I was never signed a bad boy. I was almost signed.
E, what up, family? You looking good?
Doing good, bro. I lost 48 pounds, popping 50, almost 50 down.
Okay, what about the cigarettes?
I stopped that January of last year.
My brother, JopauL, what up?
What up, Pal Moves Prez in the motherfucking building.
Yo,
appreciate you jumping on, baby.
Nah, absolutely. I know I'm late to the conversation, y'all.
Prez said, how about them cigarettes? He's not playing. He was always on me about that.
I've been on you for years about it, and I'm so happy to hear that, E. Like, real talk.
I'm glad, brother. You look good, man.
So no relapses since January?
No relapses, nothing.
God,
so is this going to trigger you if I go like this?
Nah.
Yo, JopauL, give that up, man. I didn't even realize that. I thought yours was just.
No, it's a prop. It's a prop. It's weed. It's weed. I'm smoking weed, but nah, I do have to give up cigarettes. I do. They've been my best. Listen, with Jack and Daniels and Miss Newport. Those have been my.
With the pandemic, I am not gonna lie though. I did start smoking a little bit of weed though, and that's because I needed to control my anxiety. I was just too. Think about it. We were just interviewing about my life, right? I've been DJing for 30 years, whether it's in a closet, a small club, or a big ass venue or concert. And then all of a sudden, after 30 years, you tell me I could no longer go outside and DJ. That's the craziest thing in the world to tell somebody. So you telling me what I've been doing for the last 25 years is no longer no good? So that was crazy to me. I was like, what am I going to do now? So I'm literally in the basement of my home, had to turn my basement into a studio so they could virtually see me DJing, whether it's on Twitch, Instagram Live, or whether it's on Zoom calls. It's crazy. This is the new norm now, Joe. This is the new norm.
So real talk, E, how you? Because I'm gonna tell y'all, like my spirit is so crazy. Like I got to get out this house.
My spirit is up. My spirit
is
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Thank God. And I'm gonna say this in all fairness. Thank God, whatever I still do in my life, I make just enough money to still pay my bills, my mortgage, my bills, whatever I need to, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not flourishing the way I know I could be. But the BIG, I love, would you believe I'm still getting paid for BIG shit that I did in the 90s?
Are you serious?
Yo, dog, I just released a Pepsi commercial I did with him this year.
Yeah, I saw it.
And then Miss Wallace and then Wayne Barrel called me and said that my song that I produced is in the trailer of City of Lives. So,
Yo, you want to know what's crazy, E? And I'm sorry to cut you off. I was on an interview I just interviewed the director, Brad Furman, about City of Lies. Right. That's crazy.
So my point is, when people talk about, that's 80s money or my 90s money. I'm still getting paid from the 90s, bro. And sometimes those payments have saved me. When I say saved, you know, like when the wife says, I need 20 grand, we got to do this. And I'll be like, I don't got 20 grand. Where am I going to get 20 grand from? And then all of a sudden, Miss Wallace calls. How crazy is that?
But I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in God, man. And
Me too, bro.
Yeah, I'm such a man of faith, and I don't think it's no accident. You know, them joints been sitting around for 20 plus years, right? And you know, you probably, none of us, Joe, me, we didn't know the freaking world was gonna shut down and how we were gonna readjust getting income. But right when you needed something that you probably long forgot about,
yeah, just comes through, baby. Like Kobe shooting a 3, like in the fourth quarter. It's crazy. It's crazy. God bless B.I.G. God bless God.
Yep, it's real talk. Like you just never know, man. And that's is another thing, man. Again, you know, maybe this is just old man Prez talking, but it's why I always tell people we got to push through. I know this COVID, it got us depressed. You know, we've been in quarantine in this house for over a year now.
Right.
Like it'll drive anybody crazy. We're all inmates in one way, shape, or form. Can't go out, but you know, tomorrow you just never know, man. When you can get a phone call random that just changes your whole world. So always stay with a positive eye and don't give up. Never tap out.
Yeah, that's it. I agree with you, brother, 100%. Thank you for the wise advice.
And by the way, you look great, kid. Now that you're sitting up because you was laying back, I see the weight loss.
Dog, let me tell you something. I'm an XL right now. When me and you was doing business, I was a 3X.
Yo, you XL?
I'm XL. I lost 50 pounds, bro.
Holy smoke. How'd you do it?
I did, you know, my man A Smooth from Power 106 in LA. He suffers from type 1 diabetes. And he learned this no grain, no sugar kind of like diet. He kind of shared it with me, and I do my thing with him with that. And it took me off my medication, no more insulin, no more, you know, popping mad pills and stuff. So it's literally fasting and watching your diet and just counting your numbers and your carbs, and you're straight, bro.
So you're doing that intermittent fasting?
Yeah, but not like I'm not fasting for hours. You know, you fast for a little bit here and there each day, and I just watch my numbers. And I only fast if my numbers are high.
Got you.
So that's
I'm gonna tell you, man, what people don't know, and I don't even know where this conversation was going. I'm just picking up in the middle of it.
That's all good, brother.
But this sugar, bro, if people only understood, like sugar is the enemy. If you want to lose weight,
enemy.
Yeah, sugar's your enemy. Trust me when I tell you. For anybody who's listening,
and carbs too.
Lose weight, you want to be healthy. Would you say carbs too?
Yeah.
But your sugar breaks down to carbs, which is crazy.
No, the opposite. Carbs break
down to sugar?
Yeah.
It's so ill. Like if you just watch your diet, and I remember when we was young, they would always have the commercials, you are what you eat. But that is the realest thing in the world. Like what you put in your body, that's what you are. And if you remove certain things, you'll be surprised. Without running 10 miles a day, without going to the gym for 10 hours, like take some of them carbs and that sugar out and you'll see your weight just drop, man.
It just drop. It's like that.
I need to do that because I definitely put on like 15 pounds in the belly area. I used to be, you know, I was pop star ready, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like, this is going to be, and a lot of people did that. So it's like, it's going to be, if we get normalized, it's going to be one sloppy, flabby summer at the beach this year.
And then no one's going to care, Joe. No one's going to care.
No one's going to care because we can breathe the same air.
People are going to be outside taking their shirts off. They're going to let the fat hang and wave and flubber. No one gives a shit.
You're not lying.
Nobody gives a shit.
Absolutely. But the reason why I had to have Prez on here, so Prez told me a story about how you kind of changed the whole format of the way people look at DJs from that point even till now? Do you know how you did that enough before I have Prez tell you the story?
I want to hear from Prez.
Nah, and I think what JopauL's referring to, you should remember this. I remember when we started Global Spin, and it was you, DJ Enuff, El Jefe, the man who was adamant, you must make the DJs dress up. It has to be a formal affair. Do you remember this conversation?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
It was you who,
because we wanted people to respect us.
There you go.
That's the way they respect the Grammys.
Yep.
Or any other award show. And that's why we told everybody to dress up to the nines and do their thing.
Yep, that came directly from him. If not, the Global Spin Awards probably would not have been a formal affair. It probably would not have been upscale. But he was like,
and I remember, Prez, we look good too. All the DJs.
Oh, you look great. You look great. And I didn't think people would show up that way, because I remember like, yo, E, are you sure? Like, because every DJ is so casual, like, yo, you were like, nope, they will show up, but if you want us to get the respect, you gotta make them get suited and booted, and it changed everything.
That's it. Why not?
True story.
We all wanted to be verified, right? Everybody.
Exactly.
That's it. So we had to throw on our suits, man, throwing them jackets, and I know that's not a real technical hip hop thing to do, but there was too much against us. And why would we want that heat against us? Why don't we just show them that we are gentlemen? Why don't we show them that we can be businessmen? And why don't we just show them that we can dress well and look the part and play the part?
Especially because you guys were the ones breaking all the fucking famous rappers' music. It's like it was almost like a big like, yo, put some respect on our name, because you guys deserved it. You know, so
but people don't realize perception is reality, man. It's just what it is. The way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you articulate, that's the way the world sees you. It's just what it is. So taking that extra step to make sure like you present yourself right, come suited and booted, it changed everything.
Absolutely.
So
sure did.
This is why I had to have him on here, because you changed the game in ways that you probably didn't even know. So as soon as he said that, I was like, yo, are you free today? Because usually Prez is super busy, you know.
Always busy.
Yeah, this is like Power Moves Prez. Like, and I was like, if you're free, you know, just as a long shot, I was like, let me throw that out there. And he's like, yeah, I'll jump on real fast. I was like, yes. I was like,
no, but you know what's crazy too? Because I literally just finished, and I highly recommend, I don't know when this is going to drop, but I highly, and you know, DJ Enuff was Biggie's DJ. So
I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, for anybody, no, the official DJ.
I know that.
For anybody who hasn't seen the movie City of Lies, I highly encourage it. It's a great film. It's a great film. I was just telling the director, he did his thing on it.
You know how crazy it is, Prez? Think about how close we were to the family, to BIG, to whatever we were doing. And when this movie dropped and I saw all the information that was in the movie, I had no idea.
I just told him the same thing.
Half of this stuff even happened. So
I just told him the same thing.
For me, it was mind-blowing. I was like, oh my God.
Yo, E, and it's crazy because I'm going to use the words I just used in that interview. The rabbit hole goes so deep, man. When every time you unlayer one thing,
there's something
it leads
else.
to three more.
It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Crazy.
And he did it right. Like for anybody who hasn't seen this movie, City of Lies, I highly recommend. First and foremost, it's a great movie. It really, really is. It flows well, but it's accurate. I mean, they uncovered stuff that, you know, E and I are close to the family. You know, that's factual. I'm looking at the movie through brand new eyes, and I'm like, yo, this is real? Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the same exact way I felt.
No, it's about time that somebody got it right. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always been like these stories and documentaries where you're always left wondering, you know, and what happened here. So the more information that we get, you know, that's not broadcasted, you know, by, you know, Vlad TV and, you know, his like Biggie and Tupac investigations. You know, I guess it's a win. You know, and when it's done in a creative fashion, you know, in a film, you know, then you know, and especially I respect, you know, your judgment, you know, above all, because, you know, you're very close to it. So I'm definitely going to watch it. I just haven't had time because I've been busy trying to get powerhouses like DJ Enuff to come
Get
on
to
my
watch
podcast.
it, bro. Come on, stop playing.
Yeah, you're gonna like it, Joe.
Yeah, that along with Game of Thrones. I still haven't started that yet, too.
You could wait on Game of Thrones, but
I keep telling my father, I'm like, listen, I have other things that I have to do. I was like, I have to watch this, I have to do that. I was like, but that's one I definitely have to get to because I'm a Biggie fanatic, you know, especially because I used to bug, you know, Smooth the Hustler, be like, yo, tell me another Biggie story. You know, what was he like? You know, because I was a crazy, you know, lyrical rapper back then. He was the god, you know what I'm saying, and still is and always will be. So.
Well, put it this way, and I won't mess it up for anybody who hasn't seen it. And E, you probably will agree with me what I'm about to say. When you watch this movie, number one, you'll understand why this case was never solved. But number two, it'll probably never be solved. In order for this case to be solved, it will topple some real institutions, you know, in LA. Like it just goes so deep.
At the time, it could have literally bankrupt the whole entire city of Los Angeles.
Correct. This is a deep story. It's unfortunate that B.I. was caught in the middle. That literally it's him, but you said it right. It would have bankrupted the city of Los Angeles. It could not be solved. Period.
Yeah. It was too dirty. It was too dirty. Too dirty.
Well, thank God his music will live on forever, you know, and he's still inspiring, you know, generations to come that haven't even been born yet. Like he's going to be right up immortalized, you know, like right up there with the Sinatra, the Elvis, the Beatles, you know, and probably even further than that, because hip hop is forever growing, you know, as the dominant force, you know, out here. Bro. So, Prez, I appreciate you sharing that story, man, and I appreciate you taking your time. I know you just finished another interview. We're about to wrap up, you know, anyway. So, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you and what you're doing and latest smackdown on our viewers right now?
Oh, me or E?
You,
oh,
Mr.
me.
Power Moves
Can I say one last thing about Big before we jump? Because I'm right now, like my spirit is just in that place.
No, we don't want to hear anything about Big. Of course, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, it's so crazy, but we all know this. But you like the man had one album. Like imagine what when he passed, his second album hadn't dropped yet. Like imagine what he could have become. You know, we're still talking about a 24, 25-year-old at the time. Like, and he's immortalized 24 years later, 23, 24 years later. Like, imagine what Big could have become. He only lived to see one album drop. Like, I don't think people understand that. No. One album. But anyway, I'm Shawn Prez. You can find me across all platforms at Power Moves Prez. POWERMOVES PREZ.
My brother.
I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing that because
I'm jumping ship. I love y'all. E. I love you.
Epic.
Good to see you, my brother.
All right.
Yo, Paul, be good, brother. Y'all be good.
Brother.
All right. That was a nice surprise, Joe-Paul.
Hey, listen, I had to bring the guard up here. You know, me and Prez have come quite close during the pandemic. You know, we respect exactly what each other does, and it was crazy that I've been in the industry since 1996, and I never got a chance to like really meet him. You know, but you know, we developed a cool relationship. So it was like I was trying to get some cool, funny stories about you, which like you must have dirt on everyone because nobody was digging the dirt on you at all. You know, but
man, I'm a cool dude, man.
And that's what they said. That's what they said. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nobody that can really say a bad thing about you. You know what I'm saying? So I had to have my boy Prez, you know, on here. So shout out to God, you know, Prez. And I appreciate you taking, you know, all your time. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you and what you're doing, you know, plug anything that you're doing.
Follow me lately. At DJ Enuff across all social media platforms. Look out for my new show that we have on YouTube on the Heavy Hitter DJs channel. It's called Outside the Box. We interview people, and I'm gonna have to get you on there, Joe, one time.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I would I would be honored. Absolutely.
Check it out. It's called Outside the Box. All right.
Outside the Box. Now, is that different than the Hot Box?
Yes, absolutely. We retired the Hot Box. Now it's Outside the Box.
Okay, so now it's evolution. Okay, we all got to get better. We got to evolve.
It's just interviewing and artists performing here and there, and that's what it's all about. A nice platform where new artists could do their thing.
I respect it because I'm always a champion for new artists. Trying to get to a platform where they could actually display their talent to be actually seen the organic way. So I completely respect it because I'm part of that whole grassroots system. So before I go, I'd like to leave you with a quote that I like to leave, with everyone. I hope you apply it to your life as I apply it to mine, which is, we all just here for a small cup of coffee. I'm just trying to drink it while it's still hot. I'm your boy. I'm JopauL. This has been the Verified Podcast. Make sure you check us out at theverifiedpodcast.com. Brought to you by Radio Pushers and Results in No Hype. We were just chopping it up with my boy DJ Enuff, killing it out here in the game, Mr. Heavy Hitter, and we out of here. Peace and love.
Peace, brother.